This Indian Premier League has been a happy hunting ground for batsmen. We've already seen two of the highest scores in the history of the IPL being posted by teams. T20 cricket in general seems to be moving towards a purely batter's game. The scales are pretty much tilted in the batsman's favor. But there's been a change this year.
Yeah.
BCCI decided to introduce the two-bouncer rule. This came after the impact rule was introduced last year, which again gave a lot of batting depth to teams. But this year the two-bouncer rule has had kind of neutralized the effect of the impact player rule. What are your initial thoughts on how it has panned out this year?
There was positive feedback from the players after they trialed this in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy earlier in the domestic season. So from that they've introduced it this year, and I think when there was a clear shift towards batting after the impact player rule. Teams could play that one bowler less, add an extra batter whenever they come into bat. I think this has helped keep the batsmen on their toes because they don't know when that surprise delivery is coming in. So in that regard, I guess it's like bringing it back into balance.
And yeah, even if you look at the numbers, the sheer frequency of the short ball has almost doubled. The short ball in general has been a weapon that's been increasingly used. In 2022, it was bowled every 11 balls. In 23, it was dropped down to 9. And this year, it's almost every 5 or 6 balls that a short ball is being bowled. In terms of wicket taking, I guess it's still a potent option, but it also tends to leak runs.
Yeah. Every 13 balls, it's giving a wicket, which is much better than the full length, which is the second best. We think the Yorker is very effective, but a Yorker gives a wicket only once every 27 deliveries. So that gives an idea of how effective the short ball plays. But if it's used properly, because the other caveat is that it's the second most expensive delivery rather, after the full toss. Okay. So it depends on how effective the bouncer is. Because even if it goes slightly wrong, you have a chance to be punished for boundary.
And I think especially in the power play, it's quite an expensive option bowling the short ball. We have seen medium pacers like Deepak Chahar who aren't really gifted with that extra pace going for runs. We saw that in the opening game itself against RCB. Du Plessis completely laid into Deepak Chahar in the power play.
14.04 is the run rate, economy rate in which short balls go in the power play.
Then definitely not a good
because with two fielders outside, I think it really narrows down the options for the bowlers. Right. Because if you even make a single mistake, if it's slow, then they'll pull you through mid wicket. If it's too quick, they'll pull you too fine. Yeah. That square leg will not be able to get there. So it's a very two-faced option in the bar.
But do you feel there's any phase in the game where the short ball has really proven to be a game changer?
I think data-wise, it suggests that the depth is the best place where the short ball has been effective. It was 13 runs per over, the economy rate of the short ball and the depth. But if you consider the first 13 games of the season, that has dropped down to 9. So you can say it's a considerate drop in the run rate. Also, I think the bowlers are using it in a perfect sense, as in they're not bowling 2 in the first 2 balls of the over. That gives a batsman an idea of what length to expect in the next 4 balls. But if you mix it up within the over, like how you were talking about how each delivery, the standard deviation of the short balls through the over has been quite similar. You don't know when that surprise delivery is going to come. So if they use that as a surprise delivery, I think the batsmen are finding it difficult to put it to the fence.
That's actually something Jadev Ponatkar had spoken about after he bowled really well in the death against CSK. Even if you look at the numbers in 22 and 23, there was the bowlers really preferred keeping the short ball for the last 3 balls. The 5th and 6th deliveries of the over was when the short ball was most used. And this year there's not really been one particular delivery where the short ball has been used heavily in comparison to the other balls. So the distribution of short balls across the over has been much better, and that's again played into something that little extra that the bowlers have in a game that's really moving towards big scores. There's also the short ball has also been effective in bowlers using ground dimensions in their favor. Probably in this tournament, the Ekana Stadium in Lucknow and the the new stadium in Mullanpur have long square boundaries, and that's somewhere where Arshdeep Singh has bowled well. He spoke about that in the last game also, that the slower bouncers have been very effective in Mullanpur because of the big square boundaries. Mayank Yadav used it very well against RCB in the Lucknow game. Again in the Punjab game, which was again played at Lucknow. So yeah, the short ball again has given bowlers an edge when it comes to playing with.
But I think there's still a question of like field placing, because we saw the game RCB versus Punjab. RCB needed quite a lot of runs in the last 2 overs. Harshal Patel tried to use that as a weapon. He's not somebody who's blessed with a lot of pace like Mayank Yadav, but he tried to go for that delivery with fine leg inside. Maybe he wanted to double bluff the batter, but DK had it quite easy. He just had to wait for that. He knew two bounces were coming that over. He just had to wait for it and then pull it behind square. So I think there's still some calculation that goes on into when to bowl that ball and what fields to set, how to like bluff the batter that this is the ball. If the batter is expecting a short ball, I think if you put a Yorker length or a fuller ball, again the batter is not set, still gives you a wicket taking option. So I think that over construction is so crucial in like taking full toll of this new rule.
It's still early days, I feel. We'll have to again see how it pans out, how the batsmen themselves kind of prepare to deal with this 2 bouncer per over rule. It's also interesting, I think teams defending have used it increasingly, more than the team that's bowled first. So I think there's a difference of about 20% this season in terms of teams opting to bowl the short balls more in the second innings. That's again resulted in teams being able to defend totals, and some of them have been middling totals. Obviously the 270s have obviously been defended, but there have also been cases of the 180s, the 170s being defended, and again that's somewhere the short ball being used with maybe the pitch also slowing down in the second innings. That's also helped teams defend targets.
So it has slightly tilted the favor to the bowler, but it's only a matter of time before the batters find a way out of this. So I guess there should be like more innovations like this that support the bowler. The impact player rule probably not the best way forward for the game. More such innovations in terms of giving bowlers that especially in T20 cricket, it's heavily tilted in favor of the batters. So probably such innovations can be trialed in domestic tournaments and give bowlers that extra benefit.
Yeah, a certain Curtly Ambrose would say that there should be no limitations on bounces allowed, but maybe that would be taking a stretch too far, especially in T20 cricket where you want the batsman to really score runs. But definitely in conclusion, we feel it's a decent rule that's somehow allowed the game to be on a more level playing field, and let's see how it goes about this.
The next